Hello guys, and welcome to another Guild Ball Informer video. You're here with me, Guild Ball Informer Jay, and today we are joined by
Rich Loxam.
We've got Rich Loxam of Guild Ball fame, the man himself. We tried to get this started for a while, haven't we?
We have. It's been several weeks of planning. There's no.
Yeah,
finally
we got there in the end. We thought we'd have a sit down, chat about all things Guild Ball, and hopefully you enjoy it. So, let's start off. Anyone who's not watching, tell us a bit about Guild Ball.
So Guild Ball, 2.5 years ago now, myself and Matt Hart come up with the idea of, we were basically sat down at a convention and we wanted to design a new game, because between us we thought we had the skill set. So and Guild Ball was kind of born from them. So Guild Ball, if anyone doesn't know about it, is basically a medieval football game. So you can kill people or score goals or a mix of both. And it's basically played on usually a 3v3 pitch area. There's no grid, so it's quite unique for a sports game. We're the only one, and we're the only for actual football, soccer game in existence. So, and it's gone pretty mental. So.
It definitely has gone a bit mental, and as most of you watching will agree, it's a very good game. So what inspired you to make this style of game, and how did it come about from inception?
Yeah, so like I was saying before, me and Matt were sat down, I think it was about 2.5 years ago, roughly. We were sat down at SmogCon, big War Machine event.
You're both from a War Machine background?
Yeah, we're both from, I'm from the competitive side, Matt's from the painting and kind of that side, the hobby side. And we were sat down, and Matt's day job, he was a production director, still is, in kind of computer game industry.
Oh, right, okay, nice.
My background is being a teacher in design and studied design for the last 8-10 years. And between us we felt that we could potentially make something ourselves, and Matt kind of had the brainstorm moment where he kind of looked over, and we were playing a lot of Blood Bowl at the time on the computer, because it just kind of got popular.
Oh, of course, yeah, I remember,
And then, we loved the game, and it was fantastic. We had, you know what would be great if we could take the concepts that kind of game instills, the football, the kind of aspect, and put it onto a War Machine kind of play style.
Get it off the grid system.
Get it off the grid. Get it off the grid. And it was like the moment, like the spark moment, like that could actually work. And we talked a few more ideas, and we had 4 or 5 in our kind of ideas, but that was the one that kind of stood out for us. So we started developing it, and we did it over Skype because Matt lives in London. I live here in the north, and it literally we went from basically a concept idea over a year at a time to the point where we thought Kickstarter was getting popular. We kind of thought that would tie in nicely, and the rest is history, really.
Yeah, of course. So, what sort of things have you seen? So, how the game was created? So, it went through an extensive playtesting process. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah.
And sort of big changes that you may have encountered from very early versions of the game to the game that we're playing now?
Yeah, so between the playtest cycle and that, we took the basic core concepts. We had we had the teams from the Kickstarter. We had the teams in place. We had the ideas what we wanted. We had the rule set kind of there, what we actually were intending. But for the playtesters we had were fantastic. We had Jamie P from War Machine, absolute legend in War Machine. Jeff Porritt in Blood Bowl, again massive man name. Ratty from Malifaux was involved as well.
You can really see where the game sort of pulls its influences.
You can see these are key players,
absolutely.
And we also had Dave Harbord, Max Horseman, all serious vets of the game. And I was leading the group at the time to get to where we need to be, and I think it went for about a 4-month period where we were just playing the game solid, hundreds of games each,
just constantly,
just racking it through. And I think a lot of the changes were actually the simplicity. So bringing, because the core rules and that, it was a strange playtest, because not only were we testing characters, like Season 2 playtests happening now, it's much easier because the core rules are set, so we're building within a system. At that time, we were still balancing the actual core rules. So for instance, me and Matt, quite a way through the playtest, you could only win by 3 goals. There was no kind of mix and match.
So it was just, there was no takeout.
You couldn't have the takeout VP, stuff like that. So
I couldn't imagine the game without that.
Well, exactly. Me and Matt knew for a long time we could put that in, but what we wanted to do was leave it like that to make sure the balance of football and takeouts was fair. Because if we left it either or, we could never really see where the balance was, and we always wanted to be slightly more on the football side than the taking out side. And we're probably about 55-45% at the moment in kind of goals to take out.
To be honest, I see that in my games.
That's what
unless I'm playing all out butcher rate.
Unless it's
it's very rare that you're winning by 6.
But it was, and the playtesters were working that cycle, and then we introduced that late on in the cycle, brought that back in, and it's going through those stages. So the simplicity of the rules, condensing the playbooks, making them smaller. It started off with 3 columns, went down to 2 columns, for instance. Sorry, 3 rows.
Oh, 3 rows. So originally
they used to be 3 rows.
8 by 3.
Yeah, 8 by 3.
Interesting.
And so that kind of all simplified down to 2. There is abilities on the card, so we used to not have like damage and push used to be separate always, so you could never. So the things like 2 damage and a push didn't exist.
Like Shank and people like that.
Exactly. So he would have Shank had a rule, for instance, a good example. So he had a rule where he could move 2 inches every time he did a damage or something like that.
So kind of like
he could do the same thing.
Better,
but now we put it into his playbook. He can obviously do it anyway. So it's kind of like simplifying the rules like that, basically, and bringing it all down to the most simple aspects that still give you a tactical choice.
Absolutely.
And then obviously the balance of the whole game as well at the same time.
Of course. Right, you mentioned it before, the Kickstarter. Tell us a little bit about that, how it went, because it was a little bit insane.
It was a little bit insane. Me and Matt had no idea. We knew we got the right people on board. We knew the concept at that time was good. And it was a concept. You know, a lot of Kickstarters are 80% you kind of concept and that. We'd ploughed in, me and Matt, I think it was about £2,000 each. That was our investment. So it's about £4,000 investment to get this off the ground. And it was, you know, that was we were scraping it. We had a few contacts. Doug Telford, our artist, he's superb, but he was one of Matt's mates. So we managed to get about 10 grand of artwork for about 1,500. It made a big difference. To help us off there. And the models and that, you know, we managed to get a good price on just getting Shark and Ox made. The only first 2 we could afford.
They were sort of like the season 1 poster boys.
They were the poster boys. And we thought we'd go with them. We had them on the big piece of artwork and everything. So we thought hopefully we could show people that we've convinced them. And I think the important bit of Kickstarter is not kind of showing a finished product, especially with new company. It's about showing people that you know how to get a product from start to finish, and that you are willing to get that and that whole process. So
and that in turn will like give people faith to invest in.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It can't be just a case of here's a finished product, pre-order us now.
Here's a model. There will be rules.
Exactly. You've got to show.
People aren't going to just throw money at taking a chance at something.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You've got to show that kind of willingness, and that's what we did. And we took a punt, but it paid off. I mean, the first 10 minutes we made 10 grand. It was a minute, grand a minute. Yeah.
Were you like sat at your computer refreshing?
We were on a live stream. Like we were doing a live stream at the time we launched it. And Matt hadn't seen the numbers because I was doing the back end stuff. So Matt was just talking about the game concepts and stuff like that. And I was kind of 5 minutes had gone. I said, "Yeah, we're doing pretty well, Matt. We've made 5 grand." And you could tell on his face he was completely shocked. And he just kind of carried on. He said, "Brilliant, no problem." Like no emotion. And after 10 minutes, I said, "Yeah, we're up to 10 grand now, Matt. We're a third of the way to our total 30 grand."
So that was the backed level.
30 grand is what we needed. So within 10 minutes, we'd made 10 grand. And Matt kind of went, "Yeah, I'm buying a yacht."
Buying a yacht. That's all he wants.
That was his line. But no, by the next day we were off to SmogCon. Weirdly, the second year, and we were demoing Guild Ball there. By the time we arrived, it had funded. So we were 30k. So we arrived and people were shaking our hands and like, "Well done." I'm like,
celebrating beer that night.
It was. Well, it wasn't. Weirdly, it wasn't. Because we were like, "Oh God!" Like we started by the end of the night. We were near our first stretch goal. And we realised very quickly that within a few days, we're going to be running out of our stretch goals. Like we didn't plan them before. I'd have at least a week to get on top of stuff. Maybe that we didn't know if we'd get the 30 by the end. So we were in a hotel room. I was photoshopping manuals up and everything because there was a big demand for printed manuals. No one had a printed manual. Like we wanted to do digital rules,
of course,
and free to play. This is one of our ethos.
That helped a lot as well. That
massively.
I think that's one of the big things that maybe pulled a lot of people.
Yeah, just the fact you can play for free and. We've always stood by them, we always will stand by that. I think it's a brilliant model.
Oh, it is.
But people wanted a printed rule book, so I'm kind of there photoshopping a rule book. We're trying to get prices and stuff, and like it was just mayhem. But it went really well, really well.
No, it was definitely well received. So then, obviously, now we're at retail.
Yeah.
So what did you find when we were at retail? Because I was around and that's all. And it was nuts, wasn't it?
It was nuts. Like you were there, Jay, in the packing stage of the Kickstarter, and then to retail. I mean, it was literally Salute was our big launch.
Yeah.
While we were shipping the Kickstarter, just at the end, so everything was going on. It was late nights, a lot of weeks of hard graft, hard graft. But no, like when we went to that Salute and when we literally put the stuff up and. Within, Salute doors open, and within a minute there's a queue, like a just massive queue, and we can't physically move out the stand.
Yeah, the conventions do look like they've been mad looking at social media.
No, it's been crazy. We didn't expect that, and it was just like non-stop, and it was like, okay, we've actually might have a winner on our hands here. People really like this.
Was that the point where you thought, you know what, we
assumed that people got the Kickstarter that week, so we thought, well, there's going to be a lot of people with Guild Ball, and we don't know the interest outside that. It might take a few months to seed in people locally playing it and stuff like that. But no, it was day one, it's just
I have to
gone.
admit, I remember when you returned at like midnight,
Yeah.
and I was here for a Hobbit
Yeah.
tournament, and you come in, and I've never seen someone look so exhausted, but with such a big smile
Yeah,
on their
it
face.
was good. Yeah.
With a much emptier van than when you left.
Incredible.
I do remember
absolutely
that.
incredible show.
Yeah, so the conventions must be something else.
Yeah,
I
I
bet
mean
the buzz
we've
around
just
it's
locked in
insane.
Salute next year, and the stand
good.
we've got is massive. It's a 36 foot. We've confirmed as well by 30 foot.
36 foot.
By
nice.
30, so it's a huge big island stand next year. So
So there's something to look
there
out
you go.
for.
There's an exclusive for you. So
Yeah.
we are booked in and confirmed. So Salute next year.
So what's it like now? People have got models, everyone's playing the game, we're playing lots of it. It's very popular in Manchester.
Yes,
We've got
massively
like
popular.
12, 13 people coming
Yeah,
playing tonight, which
it
is
was
cool.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like the other Thursday I popped down, there's just people playing like all over the place.
Is it quite surreal seeing people, like the thing that you've put years of work into and now
Massively.
you're seeing it just... And one thing worth mentioning, social media is crazy for this game.
Yes, yes.
Social
It's
media
all
is
over
so
the place.
active. It's
Like,
one of the busiest I've seen for a game. But what do you get when you walk around and you're seeing people playing your game?
That's
It must be
that's
cool.
the one. You know,
That's
when
the
you,
win,
when you
isn't
can
it?
when you can see people playing your game, and it's not just playing, it's enjoying it. You know, my background's being a teacher. I've been a teacher 8 years. I've just started full time now, Guild Ball. Like
That's good news,
you
yeah.
know, which is good news for the game. But the enjoyment I get from teaching is, or I did get from teaching, was basically when you can see someone learning something and they kind of clicks in the head and they're enjoying it and they're enjoying what they're doing and getting that benefit.
Yeah.
That's the reward from teaching, and you get the same kind of reward when you see people playing your game. So
Yeah,
you know, you
absolutely.
see
I
them
can
playing
imagine.
it.
Yeah.
They're enjoying what they're doing. They're having fun from it, and you know and they're kind of working the system out, and that's totally, you know, it's fantastic to see.
I've got to
So
say, I love seeing people play the game for the first time.
Yeah.
So I've done a ton of demos.
It's the light bulb
and you
moment,
just
isn't
see
it? Like,
everybody
yeah.
absolutely. You see it where they're playing the game and they go, hang on. So if I do this, I can the synergy between this player and this player.
Yep.
And it's at that point you go, they're going to go buy this game.
Yeah,
you can
pretty
really
much,
see it when
yeah.
they're playing the game.
I had a comment from Jerry in Canada, who's one of our pundits, and he said, in the last 20 years, I've never seen a game that has such a pickup from demo to actually purchase. Like, it's
Yeah.
insane. Like,
I think
just
I'm
has a
close to,
convincing-
if not 100%.
Yeah, I
It's
think I'm
insane.
95% on
Yeah.
something like, yeah.
It's mad. So what do you think, we mentioned it, so it's great seeing people play it in the clubs. What do you think of the tournament scene? What have you seen of that from now
This
on?
is
How
what
are you
our
finding it?
priority is, like
Yeah.
to develop that basically. I mean, the pool's been great for a brand new game to be, you know, filling out 16-man tournaments and
Oh,
a big
yeah.
spring of them appearing all over the place.
Well, we were surprised very early on, me and Jamie from Guild Ball TV, we did a 2-day tournament,
Yeah.
and we think Guild Ball may lend itself a lot more to 1-day tournaments,
Yes.
but we still got 12,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
very early on amazed me, to be
Yeah,
honest.
no, it's crazy. Like it's, I think Guild Ball is definitely becoming that kind of 1 day or multiple rounds. So like you'd have like 3 bursts of 16-man tournaments going on,
Exactly,
so that kind of
yeah.
way, and like finals on the Sunday and that kind of mentality. So it's no spoilers there, but there might be some stuff. There might be some stuff in plans with that.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a you know, buzz about the game and that kind of.
Yeah.
You know, to see that already to pick up. You know, we did gear it. You know, although we got Matt's influence on the simplistic mechanics,
Yes.
you know, my influence on the depth and that has allowed this system to be so easy to pick up. Yet it's perfectly built. You know, from a tournament game from the ground up. You know, you can see that when you put the def clock on that, it just works.
Absolutely,
Like it just
yeah.
sings.
Yeah,
Like,
I love the
absolutely
death
sings.
clock. I have to admit, I was one of its
great.
biggest skeptics, but
Yeah.
in practice, I've gone complete full circle. I'm a huge fan of
Yeah,
it.
no, it tightens it up, and I think anyone who's not experienced the def clock,
You need to just try it,
Just try
me,
it.
me and Jamie, we obviously we'd got the organised play document, and for like 6 weeks we avoided it right up until our
Yeah.
tournament, because we're like, we're gonna have to know this to run a tournament. So like, let's try it, and then it's like, let's just use this all the time
Yeah,
from now on. We
essentially,
really
yeah.
took to it, and
That's
we
great.
were probably some of the biggest skeptics. So the first official tournament, that was the UK Games
UK Games Expo.
How was that? What was that
Fantastic.
like?
We had a full sold out tournament.
That's good news.
So a 16-man tournament. We ran it on the Sunday, the event, and the pickup was great. Like people absolutely loved it. We gave a few exclusives away and did a few spoilers and stuff like that. The rounds, just the feedback from everyone, it was just superb. Like,
One thing I noticed, which again is testament to the game, is when we had our tournament, how few rules queries there were.
yeah, like
It
literally,
really shows
like,
how tight the rules
it
are.
was-
Because to be honest, I was drinking tea and watching people's games.
Yeah,
most of
pretty
it.
much. it does. It writes itself. There's very
Yeah.
little queries. The fact it's a pre-measured game doesn't mean you get that whole point of like, how was I in on that charge? And can you
Yeah,
measure this judge and all
absolutely,
that? You don't get any of that because
Yeah.
you can check everything. It's all clear. You know,
course, yeah.
everything just sings as far as when they're playing it, and it makes your life as a TO really, you know, easy to be honest. Like,
Absolutely.
where it does, which is good because it allows us to start looking at the next stage, which is what we're looking at. So is trying to get this to the stage of like Magic the Gathering. So like when you go to tournament, you've got a commentary team there. You know, you've got that kind of live feed the thing. We can concentrate on the actual that buzz and the hype of the game.
Because the rest of it is
because it just sings, you know, you have a few judges around doing that, and then the rest of it can be about pre-hard game. And I think this is a fantastic spectator sport as well.
Oh, it's brilliant. Like, I can stand and watch.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as me personally wargaming, if I've played 2-3 games in a day, I'm happy to be done at that point, and then I'm quite happy to sit watching games.
No,
like,
it's
one of the last Hobbit tournament weekends, I pretty much on both the evenings I basically put models out for people, and I was quite content just sat watching the game. I can watch it. It's good.
And I think it's good because a lot of the model games don't always lend you cards because you don't know, you know, especially if you watch like a War Machine game, you kind of see both armies slowly whittling each other down. You're not sure entirely what's happening. You know, and there's kind of no clear victory thing happening. With this, there's a football on the pitch, and you've got to watch where that goes.
Of course,
it's just like any football game. So if that's scored and they're scored, you know, you can see what's happening.
You've got the point of focus.
It's a point of focus.
Yeah, it's good. And the good thing, I think, and it moves back to about the rule set and stuff. It's very interesting that a different guild has won each tournament.
Yeah,
I think we've had 5 tournaments,
it's crazy.
5 guilds.
It's like 5 tournaments, 5 guilds. I think the Fishermen might have won 2 now. I think that's the only one.
Fishermen have won 2.
But I think it's crazy to see that many different guilds winning, and the rankings are completely different.
At our tournament, we at one point were set up for a Fisherman 1, 2, 3, and the Union come in and just smashed them straight over. And we had a Union win at ours, which was good to see.
It's crazy, exactly. It's crazy. I mean, I saw a thread the other day on one of the, I think it was on a supporter forum, and they kind of said, what's the best captain? What's the best captain in the game? And in 11 posts, I think it was about 10, 11, every single one had been mentioned.
I posted one of them, and it made me laugh. Everyone else
posted a different one, and then someone kind of went, well, it's kind of a testament to the game, right? It's like, no one can put the point, you know?
Yeah, it is brilliant to see. So, some questions about you. Do you get to play often, other than playtesting?
Other than playtesting,
I can imagine maybe not so much the last couple
recently
of months.
For the last some months, obviously doing 2 jobs, and it has been I've been very tight, but I'm now down to 1 job, so I'm planning basically every Thursday here. My plan is to start a bit late at work earlier and kind of go into this. So I'll be here just playing my casual games on Thursday.
So we're all going to be getting schooled.
Basically, I'm going to be bringing me playtest things, and I'll turn up with Corsair and like, who's this? Like, what's this do?
I'm never playing against this. So what team do you play?
Fishermen predominantly. They're the team I designed.
Are your babies.
They're my babies.
And am I right in saying that Matt is the Butchers?
Matt is the Butchers. They're the first 2. So
have you 2 played competitively? That'd be interesting.
We've sat down and done the playtest. I don't think last time we did the playtest it was at Matt's house. I schooled him several times because I.
So are you saying on camera that you're the better player?
I think Matt would agree now that I'm the better player, just because of the fact that at one point Matt was the best player of Guild Ball in the land, and it's when about 6 people were playing the game, he was the best, like no question. But then the playtest cycle definitely upped the playtest game quite a lot, and that's when we hammered
just because
it so much.
The absolute depth of the knowledge of plays and stuff that you're gonna get is just gonna echo.
It's mega. And don't forget, I'm the person that did every single card, led the layout on them, everything like that. I know every single thing back to back in season 1, so
absolutely.
And I have to proof it all. So it's
of course.
it's I've got a good knowledge of the overall game. So I probably took over Matt now. I can say that on camera.
Cool. So we've got apparently the best Guild Ball player. I'm gonna give him a game and
not in there.
show him how it's done.
Jeff and Jamie give me a run for my money. I'll tell you that much.
So what team do you enjoy playing against? What's your ideal matchup?
Engineers and Fishermen is my favourite match ever.
We've spoken about this before.
It's
I
fantastic.
agree. I'm an Engineers player.
It's so good. Like it's 10-12 nearly every time you play it. Like it's just a great matchup. It's all about kind of counter play and reactive play.
That is literally what it is. They can stalemate each other at every point, and it's
then breakout points, and then it's quick turnover. It's great. It's just a fantastic match.
I was saying one of the games me and Jamie had, and it always sticks in my head. We'd played for like 2 hours, and it was 0-0. It was literally just, and then in 5 activations there was 5 goals, and it was 12-8. Once something opened up, it just went. But I agree, it's no doubt my favourite.
No, it's fantastic.
So what about least favourite? Who not
as
so
a
much
fisherman tale, like who I don't like playing against.
Who,
Brewers and Morticians are the 2 that I struggle with.
Not so much Butchers?
I'm fine against the Butchers. I've played a lot of games against Butchers.
I can imagine that'd be the one.
I think when you played the Fishermen against Butchers quite a lot, you can kind of work out how to play against them. So you can get around a lot of the stuff. It's still difficult, but you don't get caught for that. Oh, I'm all dead. And
I found out Bo's allergic to hemlock.
There's the control of hemlock. Like as long as you can side in with your hemlocks and snake skins, things like that. You know, you can definitely deal. You can bring in a comp kind of that deals with the watches quite nicely.
That's the thing about the game, and I have to admit, when I was first, and I mean before I'd played, and I was reading about the game, and in my head I was like, do I like the idea of this union team? Even being honest, and I was like, it's bigger than everyone. Yeah. And then I was like, a guild should be a guild, but then as soon as I actually played the game, I was like, I can totally see why they're here.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a clever mechanic to effectively have this pool of swords for hire.
Yeah, essentially.
And it especially in season 1 where your teams have got 6 or 7 players.
Yeah, it just
gives you massive options in team building. And you can take your captain, and then you can build a team that isn't what you would expect from the alchemist.
Exactly.
Like
and the organised play document builds into that
absolutely
with the substitutes.
Yeah, that is one of my favourite parts of tournament play. The fact you can take 8 or 10 models and literally alternate deploy against your opponent. It's a nice touch.
It's really good.
That's good. So what's in store for Guild Ball in the future?
What's in store? What can I say?
What is coming? Yeah, you don't. That's the next question.
That's the next question.
So obviously we've got season 2 coming.
So I'll tell you, like, the overall this is kind of a business and design point. So for Guild Balls, you know, Steamforge Games, the company, our priority at the moment is to get season 1 of Guild Ball everywhere. You know, because when you think
isn't
about
it already?
This is the crazy thing, right? Up until literally last week, we haven't had to contact anyone about Guild Ball. Like, every store, anyone have come to us to say, can we have this product? You know,
so you've not had to actually
we're not having to do anything. We've done no promotion ourselves, nothing like that. You know, it seems mental because of the demand for it. But we're at the stage now where we can start to reach out and get this. You know, we're probably hitting about 15% of the UK, probably. You know, currently that's it. You know, it's not much when you start thinking about it. You know, we've got a couple of shops in Australia, we've got a couple in America. You know, we've got a couple like in Europe. But there's only a couple of shops, you know, so we've got so much. The scope is huge.
So we're taking over as well.
So literally, the plan is to take over and give people a show, because it is such a. It's not a game that's a hard sell. Like I never feel like I'm selling Guild Ball. All I'm doing is showing people how great this is and giving them another thing to play.
Yeah, you don't need to sell it. You just need to put it on the table and let
it really sells itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's that is the plan for the next few months, and then come September time is start to introduce season 2.
So that's when we're going to start seeing stuff.
That's when you're going to see stuff.
Excellent. And then last, because it does seem to be tradition to ask you guys this whenever it's on camera or audio. Have you got any spoilers? Because that's always the good thing to ask.
I got some spoilers. I tell you what I can do. I can splice a picture in something like here, like something like that. So if I give you,
that means I'm not going to see it.
Exactly.
I want to see it.
That's good, that, isn't it?
Okay, right. Okay.
After this, I'll show you the picture, and I'll kind of put the picture.
So
on screen.
You're going to get a picture on screen somewhere now.
Yeah. There you go. So this is,
and that is your spoiler.
And this will be Truffles. I will give you the picture of Truffles. So this is the new mascot for the butchers. No one's ever seen before.
Okay.
So it's exclusive for your show.
Nice.
There you go. But yeah, Truffles is the 40mm base mascot for season 2. So he's kind of a little bit of a tank at the moment in playtest.
Okay.
And he's got a little bit of a kind of charge mechanic. He's going to be kind of a VP. We're pitching him as a VP denial piece at the moment. So he's kind of a mascot that's not easy to take out.
Yeah.
And you kind of leave him there for quite a bit, and it gets to the point where you can't get them easy mascot points.
Yeah.
So you're gonna. He's quite a fun character.
That's one thing I've seen in season 1. You see a lot of people mascot hunting. Just for the double activation. And
Truffles is definitely an anti-mascot hunter. So he's gonna go sit there and be a pain. Like, so you're gonna like Truffles.
So there you go. Truffles.
Butcher's Guild.
Butcher's Guild season 2.
Exclusive for the
Any more?
That's all you're getting.
That's all we're getting.
That's all you're getting.
Excellent. Right, well, thank you for coming on today.
No problem.
It's much appreciated. Thank you for watching. As always, comment and share the video. And we'll be back soon with some more. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
See you later.